Usyk will batter him. AJ will batter him. They'll be saying all sorts of stuff if he looks bad in this fight. So, in a way, it's actually the riskiest fight of his career.
This is Jonathan Aguilar here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Dev Sahni. It's very late here in London after the first press conference for Fury and Ngannou, the host, of course. Dev, first of all, how much do you actually prepare for a press conference like this? Because I'm sure it's probably the biggest one you've done.
Is that for me?
Apparently.
To the floor as well.
I knew you were coming. This got to be the biggest press conference you've done, so how much do you actually need to prepare for something like this?
Yeah, I do have to prepare. Look, this is opening up Riyadh season as well, so there was a lot of things that we needed to say, a lot of people that we had to thank. Of course, we've all come together to put this event on, so yeah, a lot of prep actually for this one. It's been exhausting, but I think it went fairly well, you know.
Just on this Riyadh season, for those that don't know, what actually is it and what's the relevance here?
What are you doing to me? Why are you sticking that one on me? Look, it's an amazing winter festival. It's been happening for 4 years. It has, like, this will be fourth year. It has some of the best concerts in the world, the best activities in the world, best sporting events in the world. And this time, Fury and Ngannou, we get to decide who the baddest man in the planet is. Boxing has that spot to open up this big festival. Have you been? Did you go to Saudi for the?
Yeah.
Right. So they do such cool things, right? They've like taken Winter Wonderland from London, and they've picked it up and plucked it and essentially put it into Riyadh. They're doing the same sort of thing with like Times Square. They're picking it up, they're plucking it, they're putting it there. It's like Vegas times 10, but without, you know, some of the stuff. But it's tremendous.
Dev, you described Francis Ngannou's power as like a small family car, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, tell me what you think about what Francis Ngannou brings to this fight, and yeah, how does he beat Fury?
Listen, he brings an awful lot of risk, and yeah, you mentioned it there. He hits as hard, officially, as a small, I think it said Ford Escort, actually, is what I found on the internet. It said, oh, it's so hard, it's like the brake horsepower of a smaller Ford Escort. So Tyson can't afford to get hit, certainly not clean, but what about like a glancing shot? What if Ngannou lands a glancing shot? That could do some damage, you know, it could cause some problems. So he brings all of that, but away from that, it's a case of, if Tyson looks bad at any point in this fight against Francis Ngannou, if he looks like he's going to drop a round, say it goes for multiple rounds and he drops rounds to Francis Ngannou, what do you think people are going to say about Tyson Fury? They'll say he's finished, he's done. Usyk will batter him, AJ will batter him. They'll be saying all sorts of stuff if he looks bad in this fight. So, in a way, it's actually the riskiest fight of his career, because he's putting everything on the line, and Francis Ngannou is the man with everything to gain and nothing to lose in this fight, right? If he loses, hey, you know, he's not the favourite, is he? People are expecting him to lose. But if he wins, he will be the first man in history, certainly as far as I'm aware, who will walk away from a fight at the end as the lineal heavyweight champion of MMA, he already is, and the lineal heavyweight champion of boxing. What a position to be in. To be the champ, the lineal champ. You mad? Come on.
Talking about Usyk, Bob Arum, we spoke to him earlier, and he said, listen, after this fight, quit all the messing about and let's just get that fight on. Surely, you know, boxing purists would say, why are we not seeing that fight? Why can't we see that?
Come on, we've done this. We know. Look, they tried to do the fight. Usyk pulled out at the end of the day, and it didn't happen at Wembley, right? Hopefully it happens, you know, should Tyson Fury come through Francis Ngannou, which I would hope that he does. Hopefully Usyk's waiting there, you know. I think the teams all get on and are in a good place. They work together on the Dubois fight. I'm sure we'll get it. Just bear with everyone. We'll get there. And in the meantime, whilst he couldn't land a fight with Usyk, he couldn't land a fight with Anthony Joshua as well. He's been offered a huge opportunity to go and fight Francis Ngannou and cement his place as the baddest man on the planet. You would be crazy to not do it.
Two more and then we will be done. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but I'm sure you would have heard it by now. Wardley and Adelaide kicked off upstairs. Is that a concern? You know, Wardley's cut. Is that a concern for that going ahead on this card, do you reckon?
Look, I need to see more of this. I've only seen a couple of little bits here and there, and yeah, I would just like to go away and review the footage. But look, one thing's for sure, these are two guys who clearly don't like each other, can't be around each other, and you need a lot of security if they are going to be around each other. If and when that fight does happen, it will be huge. It will be a monster, because you've got two unbeaten British guys, both with tremendous knockout rates, both fully believe that they can win, and both have got a little bit of something extra in them, where they might just kick off with you at the press conference kind of thing. These are ingredients for a big fight, and they're heavyweights. So let's see. I don't know fully kind of what's happened on the red carpet. We need to figure that out. Figure out what's happened there. But yeah, big fight at some point.
And just lastly, obviously you guys and Queensberry have launched an appeal against the Dubois-Usyk result. Confident that will be overturned? I mean, or not even overturned, but do you believe that potentially Daniel can get a rematch? How do you see it?
Daniel should come away with a successful outcome. I don't know what that is, but he's in the right. That's the thing. It wasn't a low blow. I can't stress that enough. It just wasn't. A low is, there's an imaginary line between the hip bones. If you go below that, it's low. You go above it, you're legal. He wasn't below it. So it wasn't a low blow. He should have a knockout win over Alexander Usyk in the 5th round in Poland and be the unified world heavyweight champion. Now, Frank has launched this appeal. It's written to them. And I'll tell you, if I'm Daniel Dubois, if I'm in that position where I feel like I've been wronged, the person I would want batting for me, shouting for me, screaming for me, sending letters for me, is Frank Warren. It's me. You put it at me. No, is definitely Frank Warren. And when Frank gets into situations like this, he can be absolutely tenacious. And let's see.
Dev, appreciate your time. Obviously, this fight, October 28th in Riyadh. Lastly, how many pay-per-views do you think this will do? I spoke to Ade Oladipo. He feels it could touch 1 million.
I think it will do all of them. All the pay-per-views. All the pay-per-views in the world. There you go. Biggest fight ever. I don't know. I haven't really been able to take in. Obviously, today, you can see from the media, it was absolutely massive. The red carpet thing, loads of media here. It's a massive fight. Anyone who is worth their salt in combat sports is here, and they're covering it. And yeah, I think it's going to be very big. I can't tell you exact numbers, but it will be a big fight.
Dev, appreciate your time. We'll catch up soon. Thank you.